a live look at Galveston, Texas right now. You can see that as a reporter, they're getting ready to do a live report, but you can see the conditions behind him. Let's send it over to meteorologist Derek Sibley, who is tracking Beryl for us. Derek.
Yeah, good morning. We are looking at the outer effects here of Beryl that we're going to make it their way into southeastern Louisiana here as we head into the day tomorrow. But right now, it's really just all about the Texas coast and eastern Texas that continue to get slammed with hurricane force winds and some heavy rain. So let's take a live look now at Beryl here as it continues to move through. We'll get to that here in a second, but I do want to show you some of the clouds moving in across southeastern Louisiana. There is Beryl, and you can see that system that continues to make its way inland. Still well defined, even though it continues to move its way towards the north. But there you can see that eye, which by the way made landfall around 4 o'clock this morning along the Texas coast, right around or very close to Matagorda, and it continues to move north now. Houston getting slammed right now with some very heavy rain and some gusty winds, and really much of the Texas coastline up towards Galveston, even points north, looking at some very heavy rain and some gusty winds here as well. Hurricane warnings continue for the Texas coast, and also tropical storm warnings just north of that, including the city of Houston here too, as the system is expected to move in that general direction and also weaken to a tropical storm. That's at least the good news to share with you this morning, is that now that it's inland, it's going to continue to weaken, and it will be back to a tropical storm as early as this afternoon just north of the Houston area, and then weakening even further down to a 40-mile-per-hour storm heading into overnight tonight across eastern Texas, and then it's going to continue to make its way towards the northeast across the deep south, heading into tomorrow afternoon, down to a tropical depression by that point, followed by a remnant area of low pressure across the midwestern United States by around midweek, which by that point will just be a heavy rainmaker for them, and that's truly about it. We can finally say goodbye to Beryl after that. Meanwhile, the rest of the tropics are pretty quiet, and there's no development expected through the next 7 days. So good news to share with you about the tropics this morning. Temperatures into the 70s across North Shore right now, but the 80s mainly focused currently along the South Shore. And really, the temperatures today are going to be the main weather story. We're looking at highs reaching those low to mid 90s this afternoon, which is going to make heat index values feel like they could be as hot as 112 degrees today. And that's why we're under those heat advisories across much of southeastern Louisiana until 7 o'clock this evening. Here's a look at those heat index values by 3 o'clock today. And yeah, very close to around that 112 mark across much of southeastern Louisiana. Now today, or tomorrow I should say, not as hot. We're going to be looking at heat index values anywhere between 100 to 105 degrees, but still make sure that you dress appropriately and take frequent breaks and make sure you stay hydrated, because those heat index values will still be well into those triple digits. Now, getting back to the bigger picture, we may see a couple of pop-up showers and storms here today. Not necessarily all associated here with Beryl, but we will be looking at some of those outer effects here of Beryl moving in as early as tomorrow morning. What's happening is because Beryl's moving towards the northeast, we may see some of that fetch from the Gulf of Mexico connecting to Beryl, so the outer bands or the feeder bands may start to work their way towards the east and affect southeastern Louisiana throughout tomorrow morning, maybe lasting a little bit into the afternoon here as well. But by the time we reach tomorrow evening, a lot of this here, at least the rain coverage, will be long gone by that point. Coastal flooding impacts as well until 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the South Shore there along the immediate coast because of that onshore wind coming up from the Gulf of Mexico associated with Beryl. And here's a look at your WDSU First Warning 7-day forecast.